Today we're gonna rate custom Magic the Gathering cards on Reddit. You love your custom cards. Will they Zyber or hit danger? Because they can hit danger too! Hey, we're gonna start with a Site of Purification. It's a land that taps for 1 colorless mana. And it converts the evil colors, the black and red, into double white. The blasphemous shall be enlightened, the righteous shall be quelled. Okay, it's a playable card. I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to play that card. In fact, for some of the Eldrazi decks, this could be like, well, I can't say it's like a 4-color land because it literally only adds the double white or the colorless. But you're playing with black and red in some way in there anyway. All right, so that gets a solid pass. Oh, and they have a whole cycle of this damn thing. You can turn Gruul into double blue. Actually, oh no, I can't use this. I need something that filters colorless into double blue. If anyone makes that happen, and I'm talking at actual Wizards of the Coast. Wonder if any Wizards R&D, I never thought about that. Maybe are there any Wizards R&D people posting in this channel for maybe the really weird stuff? The Wizards didn't let them go slide through. Anyway, okay, we're gonna move on to the Victorious Slayer. It's a red-black 3/2 zombie knight. Any amount of damage Victorious Slayer deals is enough to destroy a creature or planeswalker or defeat a battle. Okay, so basically it is ultimate death touch. You hit anything, like death touch only kills creatures at 1 damage, but it doesn't kill players, it doesn't kill planeswalkers or defeat a battle in 1 shot. But okay, we don't have death touch for players yet, but we do now have death touch basically for planeswalkers or defeat a battle. Should have made its own keyword. Some seek for glory, some seek for revenge. He seeks for more frags. And don't give it trample. Is it trample? Trample and death touch, that's the ultimate danger. Because it deals 1 damage, it dies, and then we'll trample over to all the other blockers that block the damn thing. That's something for everyone to know. Don't gang block a trampling death toucher. You will regret. You will absolutely regret. Abe gonna start the day off strong. Good morning, here's my first card. Zenith Cadence Pursued. And as usual, I have to duplicate this tab. If you make a donation, give me the name of your post on Custom Magic. I'll look it up. This is not my way of looking it up. Give me the title. Zenith Cadence. Hopefully that's good enough. Oh, I did not spell it right. But I'm sure this is you. Bolt the bird. We look it up and we're gonna rate it in front of everybody. All right, we got Zenith Cadence Pursued. Oh, by the way, that last card, it passes. So print it up. Okay, we got a red, blue, 1 generic, 3 loyalty Zenith. Is this your own character or does this come from some lore, some sort of TV show? You may activate loyalty abilities of Zenith Cadence Pursued only during an opponent's turn. Anytime you could cast an instant. That sounds broken. So like in a multiplayer game, you get like several turns to do this. All right, pass this person, take it up. Pass that person, take it up. Pass that person, take it up. So you just can't. You may only during an opponent's turn anytime you and it's instant speed, which is disgusting. And it's 3 mana 3 mana planeswalker. +1, draw a card, then discard a card. If you discard an instant or sorcery card, tap target permanent. That's busted. Okay, and -4, which you can't do immediately, I have to admit. Counter target spell, Zenith Cadence Pursued deals 3 damage to that spell's controller. This is just insane. This is absolutely not. Straight to the rank. It's too strong. You can't, I know, so you want to like have a counter spell attached to a planeswalker. This thing needs to be way more expensive. Or like, I don't know, the counter spell part. This is not a downside. You're looting and you're tapping permanents and at instant speed. That is just that is ridiculous. I think it's only once. Isn't Wandering Emperor similar? I don't think so. You can't activate on. In a multiplayer game, this is broken because you can go plus. It's the same thing as the Teferi. What is it? That other weird Teferi card. You're looting a lot, which, by the way, enables a lot of combos. Tapping stuff down, I think, is too much. I think if you want to loot at +1, maybe that's okay. So you loot. You just have to loot twice. And then you can already counterspell stuff. Yeah, it's way too strong. I think this would be pretty rough even in one-on-one Magic. I mean, this is a 3-mana loyalty Planeswalker. You do not want to give control players this thing. Too dangerous. Anyway, no chance. It may Zyber too much. Okay, we got the Pedantic Historian. It's a white 1 generic, 2/1 human. All treasures are legendary. Interesting. So for anybody who has, like, what is it? I don't remember all these treasure generating. Okay, if you're a Magda deck, you screwed. I just lost to a Magda deck not too long ago. So you put all the treasures you want. They're all legendary now. Mere treasure, you say. Well, if it's so easily replicated, can you really consider it to be that treasured? You got jokes and stuff all in one. It's a neat, it's a little neat creature. I actually like it. Easy pass. Not a problem at all. Sack all but one. What you gotta do in response? Make use of your treasure while you can. Yeah, R.I.P. Smog. R.I.P. Smog in general. The treasure dragon from The Hobbit. Treasure hate is necessary. You know what? You're right. I mean, normally it's just artifact hate, you know? Like Stony Silence, Collector Oof, Null Rod. But those are awkward cards to play because it screws over your, like, soul rings and so on. But this is a good idea. That's great. All treasures are legendary. I think we need those cards in existence. Miguel! Hey, post is called Hate versus Legendary Lands. What's wrong with Legendary Lands? I love my Legendary Lands. Okay, the Cursed Megaliths. It's a land. Legendary lands gain phasing. That is weird. And at the beginning of each player's... It should be a legendary land itself. And I don't know how that would work. Phases out, then other... Well, anyway, I don't know. At the beginning of each player's end step, that player loses 2 life for each legendary land they control. That... Why? That's too broken. That's like... That is It's almost like perpetual... Price of progress. Now, I have to admit, there's not that many legendary lands out there, so it won't, like, completely destroy somebody. Like, most people play with, like, dual lands and triomes, but, like, that's pretty disgusting. Now, I will give it this. It doesn't add mana, which is against the theme of, like, Magic the Gathering these days, but at least that is a downside. But, I think it's too strong of a hoser. It's just too, like, if your opponent has, like, maybe 2 lands in play, you slap this thing down, they're taking 4 damage a turn. For the low cost of putting a land in play, I don't know. I think it's too strong. I would not print this thing. For the legendary decks, and turn everyone's creatures into lands that are legendary. It'd be an interesting sideboard in a deck with only basic lands. Well, most decks, you don't even need basic lands. It's not non-basic lands, it's literally legendary lands. So you can still play with dual lands, shock lands, triomes, fetch lands. None of those are legendary. None of them. You're like hating on a Ganjo and Otawara and... Was it Shozuken or something like that? I can't remember the names to all these legendary lands. Dark Depths. I guess it's a neat card in Legacy, but outside of that, this is going to be just completely ridiculous. Life loss is every other turn. That's true, actually. Do you know what? I forgot about that. Because the other legendary lands are gain phasing. Too jank. Way too strong. People are insane. You're insane! Okay, we got Shahrazad, teller of 1,000 tales. A white 2/2 human noble with vigilance. Everyone loves Shahrazad. For the jank. For the memes. This is like the greatest meme card of Magic the Gathering. Vigilance. Tap. Players play a... Oh god, you have this on a creature. Players play a Magic sub-game using their libraries as their decks. Each player who wins the sub-game draws a card. It's draw a card. It's not even like lose your half your life. This game would go on forever. In a group with no removal, no spot removal, the Shahrazad will just force people to resign. Stop! Yeah, stop right there. Put an end to this damn thing. Don't send it to the printers. I'm pithing needling that. I concede the sub game. What, to just let them draw a card? Players play a Magic sub game. I guess people could concede to get the game going. And so it almost turns into like tap, draw a card for yourself because no one wants to play the sub games. It would actually be a lot better if it said you lost half your life total. So at least like the main game can keep moving on. This is just like the sub game. These would go on for absolutely forever. You heard of the 3-hour-long Commander game? Well, welcome to the Commander game that lasts 3 months. Does anyone have games like that? It was like, okay, everyone leave your deck on the table. We'll pick it up next time. I'm not going to touch anything. Well, that's what Shahrazad would do. Be a very long form game around there. Yes, you can concede at any, yeah, you can concede at any time, but you know, you want to win, right? You want to win. Fire! Hey, Nikachu, hope you're doing well. My card is Chaos Stalker of Fools. Chaos, is it Chaos? Rhymes with chaos. Oops, Chaos. Let's find Chaos. Stalker of Fools. Okay, I found it. Day 4, apparently. You have several days of this. Hold on, which one do you want? This was 7 days ago. This was 6 days ago. Oh no, this is a different one. Sorry about that. Okay. Chaos, Stalker of Fools. Some sort of jester-looking fellow over here. Red, black, 3 generic. For a 4/3 Vampire Shade. I don't see the vampire in this thing. Okay, whenever Chaos Stalker of Fools deals combat damage to a player, exchange control of it and target creature that player controls, but you don't own. So if I deal damage to a player, we do a switcheroo that player controls. So you had to have attacked with something. This would be a little bit more effective if it had haste. Then we got Shadow Step. When Chaos, Tormenting Jester, the name changed. You changed the name, and you didn't edit it. You didn't correct the edit later. Okay, whatever. Whenever Chaos blocks or becomes blocked, its owner may pay a black or in 1 generic. If they do, they return it to their hand. Interesting. So you try to free roll the attack. And if they block, it doesn't do anything. Honestly, this is totally fair. I think it's fine. I think you could push it a little bit more. It's like, it probably could be pushed a little bit more. I don't know how or what, but it's totally 100% fair and fine. I don't even see you getting in for damage, because who would leave themselves defenseless to this? Well, but at the same time, they would get it. So they'd be like, okay, maybe I'll lose my creature, but then I get the Chaos, and then we're in good shape. More effective if it had haste? Yeah, haste would help, like, because they don't see it coming, right? Like, the problem with playing this card is like, well, okay, well, now I gotta leave a blocker. But then again, they leave a block, you can, like, kill it. So they leave a chump blocker, you kill it. This still works. This is a great one. Okay, this is a great card. Back to the freebie section. You've heard of snakes on a plane. We got now snakes on a planeswalker. Okay, this green black enchantment. Vraska planeswalkers enter the battlefield under your control with 2 additional loyalty counters. And you may activate the abilities of Vraska planeswalkers an additional time during each of your turns. All right, I think this is fine. I don't know how it interacts with actual Vraskas, but I think they're all, like, pretty fair. I think there's one at, like, 4 mana that's, like, very fairish. It destroys permanents, but, like, I don't... Like, there's a big cost to playing this damn thing, so I think it's totally fine. Oh, dear God, ban it. Ban it with fire. You don't like the snakes? Do you like planes? This is cute. Seems really good with the 4 mana one. Yeah, that's the only one I can think of. Because I think it has, like, an immediate -3 of destroying a non-land permanent, I think. So sick of these effing snakes on these mother effing planeswalkers. Someone bring in Samuel Jackson. Let's go. Samuel Jackson on Ravnica. And 2 CMC is pretty undercosted. But it's like a super narrow card. Like, it's literally for Vraska planeswalkers, and that's it. At least it's going to be on curve. It's like on some degree. Okay, Gabrielle, what do you got for us this week, Gabrielle? Hey there, hope you're doing well. Preordained encounter. whatever that. Whatever preordained is gonna have anything to do with the actual card preordained? No. Or maybe it does. Or maybe it doesn't. Preordained encounter, a white sorcery. Very nice picture, I must say. Target a legendary creature or planeswalker on the battlefield. It's a very strange phrasing to start off like that. Search your library for up to one legendary creature or planeswalker card with the same mana value as that target, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Ah, okay, I get it. This is fine. It's fine to me. There's a huge cost, and it's sorcery speed. There's a pretty big cost of this card. I think you could even make this instant. If I'm not mistaken, like it's just a tutor. But it's a tutor with a massive downside, and it's narrow. I like if someone blows up the creature that you targeted, the whole thing fizzles. It's just gone. So this would be terrible in draft unless it was like, was it Dominaria? There's a lot of legendaries around there. They've made. Hey, come on. Is Kamigawa mean nothing to you? Come on. They every so often they come out with like the Legends set to appease all the commander players with a billion new different commanders. So when they come out with like Dominaria or Kamigawa, people are like, I gotta build 20 new commander decks. 20 new ones. So yeah, search your library for up to one legendary creature or planeswalker card with the same mana value as the target, reveal it. So I actually think you could probably make this instant. Oh no, but it goes into your hand? Maybe sorcery speed is fine. Put it directly into your hand. I think it's very interesting. Massive downside. You got to play it in slow motion. So yeah, I think this is fine. I think it's fine. It's also a very unique take on tutors. Because tutors are strong. Tutors strong. People like tutors. People like consistency, but no downside to tutors. Okay, next up, we got the Mox Nacra. Hope I pronounced that right. It's a 0-mana legendary artifact. I don't have to read that much to know that it danger. Tap, add 1 mana of a random color from among white, blue, black, red, and green. Spend this mana only to cast spells of that color. Ooh! But you know what? In a Wooburg deck, it's just broken. This is just stupid. You're just giving a Mox to the Wooburg players. Like, I mean, maybe not all your cards are going to be 5 color, but the odds are, like, pretty good. I will say, it might dictate the way you play your hand or the game. I think this has to be just... It's like, at the very least, if you have a Wooburg Planeswalker, then it's just a Mox for that damn thing, even if you have to replay it over and over and over again. Cool idea? I don't know! I don't think there's anything cool about Moxen entering the game for nothing. You know, everyone finds a way to break a Moxen, even if it's fair. I think the only way they've made it fair is, like, give it suspend 3 or whatever, and then that's the only way that it's fair. But what if you're using Fists of Sun? Can this still cast that card? I have no idea. See, we got an agreement. It's busted. Ah, yes, inconsistent color pie. Make this cost 1 mana, and it would be... Yeah, making it maybe just giving it 1 mana would make it fair, but also then might make it jank. Free mana is free mana. It's free real estate around here. So to hell with that card. Brawly Shadow. Guard for hire. One of the few non-IP cards I made. Ah, so you've taken a break from the Lion King to make something original yourself. Oh, this whole pose reminds me of Final Fantasy VII, or maybe it's Final Fantasy VIII. They had these gun blades. Okay, we have a white 2 generic 2/5 human mercenary with Defender. Yes, defending with their giant blade stick. And oh, Toad said, are there 5-sided dice for this card? No, you can just roll a 6-sided die, and you know, if you roll 6, you just disqualify it. Okay, Defender, pay 2, gain control of guard for hire until end of turn, and untap it. Activate only during combat. After attacks are declared, any player may activate this ability. Guard for hire can't be sacrificed. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so basically anyone can have this. If they have 2 mana up, they will swipe it. But also, anyone can swipe it away from you, right? Gain control Until end of turn, untap it. Activate only during combat after attacks have been declared any player. So basically, if you steal this thing to block, someone else can just re-steal it away from you. I wonder, like, honestly, it's fine like that. You could do it like that, but I'm wondering if it's a little bit more flavorful to, like, maybe the intention of the card that only the defending player can activate it. Like, you need to be attacked. Otherwise, like, okay, I really need this guard for hire. I pay you. And then, like, someone on the sidelines that's not being attacked or is in a position of blocking, like, steals it from you. It's like, nope. Yeah, it's gone. Gone now. If they want to spend the 2, it's fine. All right. That's how it was designed. You're right. This guy had one job, and just to defend against the first person that hired him, and then someone paid an equal amount of mana or money and then stole him away. Okay, that's fine. You got it. All right, next freebie card. The Telekinetic Resonance. It's a blue instant copy target activated ability from an artifact source. You may choose new targets for the copy, draw a card. I have a feeling this is broken. What's it with the public page just has some insane cards. What is wrong with them today? I have a feeling this is just stone cold broken. You probably, I mean, just even, it's like a ritual for a blue if you just copy the amount of mana you get from an artifact, and I think that might be more than enough. Yeah, even like, oh no, Karna is not an artifact. It's got to be an artifact source. Guard for hire could cost 1 more for each player gaining control after the first. I think that's actually interesting. That's a cool way of doing it. Although it might make the card a little bit more too complicated. Philharmonicon 1 time is fine. Karn for 1 mana. No, what are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about copy target activated ability from an artifact. So you have to copy an art. So you're like, what are you talking about? Like copy Soul Ring and then play a Karn or something like that? Something to that effect. Anyway, I think the new Karn. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Copy treasure then. Yeah, we'll copy it. Well, that's a little pathetic. Anyway, I think this has big... The fact that you know what? It might be fine if you didn't draw a card, but you can't put draw a card on everything. This is just going to be broken. Oh, there's a new plane. I forgot. He lost his spark for some reason. How does... the guy is basically a silver machine in the first place. I don't even know why he had a spark to begin with. But then when he had it, why'd he lose it? So, anyway, I think this card is a problem. I don't like it. I don't like the gist of this thing. Abe is back with Matt Parker. Any relation to Peter Parker? Humble Prime. That's a lot of words. I need a sound effect for, like, bazillions of words on a card. It's a blue 2 generic 0/1 human mathematician. So with this, the lore probably is RIL. Tap, exile your library. This is just like a combo card for the Thassa's Oracle decks. If you exile 10 or more non-land cards, you may divide the exiled cards into any number of piles. If each pile's total mana value plus the number of lands in that pile equal a different prime number, you win the game. What is this? This card's just insane. Otherwise, shuffle the exiled cards into your library. If this ability takes more than 5 minutes to resolve, you lose. Like, this just doesn't work at all. For anyone who likes numbers, you might enjoy this. But, like, it says, if it takes more than 5 minutes, if it takes more than 1 minute, the judge will give you a game rule violation. He'll slap them slow play warnings on you. Prime numbers are, in a way, the atoms of math. That's great. Broken. Well, first off, I think the card is broken, and I think it's convoluted as hell. Okay, we got Nazarut, the Ravine. Nazarut Ravine enters the battlefield tapped. And you can tap out a black, at a green, or black-green. Then if you choose black-green, sacrifice Nazarut Ravine. That is a very interesting design. So you get the option to, get it. I can't remember. There's a few cards that are very similar to this. where you sacrifice it, you get double mana. Interesting card. I don't know, it could be broken. But it comes into play tapped, so you can't like abuse it the turn that it comes into play. So you take a turn off to have a bigger turn next turn. You guys seem to like it. Medusa likes it. Good design. Finally, something to replace all those damn dual lands that enter the battlefield tapped and just gain you 1 life. Wait, do not print. Gitrog monster breaks. I do not know if it does. If you guys think this will break the Gitrog monster, you let me know in the comments section below. Okay, next we got fire. Another one for you. You are dealt a risky hand. That sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons name. Okay, you are dealt a risky hand. It's a red, 1 generic sorcery. Oh, it is very Dungeons and Dragons-like. Choose one. Fold. Discard your hand and draw 3 cards. Play it. Roll a d20. 1 to 15. Discard your hand. Oh, God. 16 to 20. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. It's funny. You can discard your hand, draw 3 cards. This actually looks... Hold on. Isn't this just broken? Because it's just 2 mana, draw 3. You can't do that. That's actually just beyond insane. So basically, empty your hand, and it's just 2 mana, draw 3. Do you have any idea how good that is in Magic the Gathering? And you gave it to red? Yeah, 2 mana. Yeah, all for the low cost of 2 mana. It's beyond busted, actually. No one needs to play it. I mean, unless, I guess... Like, it doesn't really matter. Your best bet is just always fold. It should... I don't know what the benefit to folding is. It could be fold, draw 2 or something? I really don't know. I don't know how to balance the first one out, but the fold is above and beyond better than this one, unless you want to take a huge risk. It should be renamed, Do You Want to Take a Huge Risk? Do You Feel Lucky? I don't know if... probably Burn players would play. Everyone will play this, all right? Delver will play it. Dredge will play it. Like, there's no reason not to play this. Like, most people... Everyone's problem is they don't have enough cards in their hand. Not that they have too many cards in their hand, all right? So everyone will play the damn thing. That may be the best option, but not the most fun. I would never fold. Oh, yeah. You stay around to the river all the time, huh, Platonic Liquid? You gotta see that river card. You gotta see what's in their hand. Play it. Should be 1 to 10. Discard 11 to 20. You know another way you could do this? You are dealt a risky hand, and like 1 to 5 is fold. Discard your hand, draw 3 cards. 6 to 15 is discard your hand, and 16 to 20 is like discard your hand, draw 7 cards. So half the time you get something, and the other half of the time... Well, actually, no, that's still probably... yeah, no, when you're empty-handed, maybe that's fine. But probably it's worth the risk. Still too strong. Mr. Deadhead's a roller as well. Rolling along. Anyway, I think this card is also just broken. It's just... Because the problem is the fold part is actually just insanely strong. Fold should just be 1 and discard. Be a 1 and discard hand. Oh, yeah, draw 1 card like a loot. But that sort of sucks. Turning this card into a looter. It's like cycle. Sorry, it's into a cycle. You're essentially cycling your card. I have no idea what you give to fold. It's like fold, create 2 treasure tokens. Like discard your hand, create 2 treasure tokens or something like that. I'm not sure. All right, we're gonna look at more custom Magic the Gathering cards, but we gotta thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com. Our favorite sponsor of the real Magic the Gathering cards. You like your imaginary cards, but you also love real ones. That's why we play this game. And you can get Doctor Who, Commander products, and the singles from FusionGamingOnline.com. They came out with like, what is it, like 400, 1,000 cards. Mostly through the variants. So get your favorite variant from FusionGamingOnline.com because it supports the channel. And you can support yourself by using coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. To play any deck, to unlock your creativity. You like to make custom cards? Well, maybe you like making custom decks as well. And you can play an unlimited number of decks, even Commander. They got like a really jank Commander format online. I did it. It's playable. And it went by way smoother than I thought. For 25 bucks a month, you can get 450 ticks, which is basically $450 worth of cards to borrow on Magic the Gathering Online. You can go play yourself Commander. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below. Or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_XQJ. And back! Alright, we go back to the freebie section. You people submitting cards today, it's just all broken stuff. It's just all broken. Okay, the Festering Photor. I don't know what that is. It's a black 2 generic enchantment. You can't play planes. What's with these cards today? And what does that mean? Hold on. Can I also just... I can't play a planes, but can I fetch them into play? I'm pretty sure we can just tutor them directly onto the battlefield. Untapped planes you control have... Sacrifice this permanent, add colorless. Spend this mana only to cast a horror spell. This is just stupid. All of the... Yeah, it's a planes failure. It's a plane failure. I like that one. Shred it. An AI-generated moment. It could be. The Landmower's Manor. Do you hear the child cries? The Academic. This has to be an AI-generated card. You can't tell what's AI-generated and custom-made anymore. I'm sure you could just plug in the inputs on ChatGPT. Make a custom Magic the Gathering... Make an AI-generated Magic the Gathering card. Or make a Magic the Gathering card that looks like it was created by the community on Reddit. And it'll come up with this damn thing. Okay, I think it is now time for the super chat second half, because I know you guys have so many damn cards. Rated Lex. We're gonna make phasing great again. They already tried, by the way. Or was it make or was it make no, this was 8 months ago. I don't see this card. Was this an actual card? Or are you just making a reference to the phasing land? The phasing damage land. I think that was a response to the phasing land. Well, in that case, I will donate the super chat to the freebie section. Okay, Imprisoned by Time. We have a blue 1 generic aura. Enchant Creature. Enchant Creature phases out. Oh, God. What a coincidence. We have the phasing super chat and a phasing card. Enchanted Creature can only phase in during extra turns. That is weird. So it's basically removal. So for 2 mana, you get rid of... I thought this card was going nowhere. So it's effectively 2 mana, remove a creature. It might be too strong. Because, like, how often do you take an extra turn? It'll, like, almost never happen. Unless, like, you're the blue player. Like, what is the red player going to take an extra turn? I guess they can. They have like 1 card for that damn thing. Too good for blue. Yeah, all of a sudden this card might be busted. It's 2 mana. It's effectively 2 mana. Remove the creature from the game, unless it's like a blue player. Maybe they'll take an extra turn after this one. But no, I don't. I think that one's too strong too. And it skips graveyard, dies triggers. Absolutely, bypasses everything. And also, hold on, doesn't also just swipe the commander for forever? If it phases out, I don't think you have any opportunity to put in the command zone, because it's technically still there on the battlefield. You just treat as if it isn't there. Yeah, it's a blue oubliette. Oubliette. Old boy says, I believe it doesn't work because attached permanents phase out with the card, so the last effect won't apply when it phases in. Oh, that's possible too. Make it a blue, blue, and 1? Maybe? I don't know. It's probably a card that Wizards would never print because it's just not fun for Commander players. Or maybe not. Maybe it phases out, they phase it back in. It just phases out. No, but it would never phase in. It just says it phases out, or it has to phase back in. So what, like it phases out for 1 turn? Giant creature can only phase in during extra turns. Whatever. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the look of that card. We're going to move on to Blue Bomber. If you're playing her, I'm banning you from my play group. You're not allowed to make games that long. I want to play more than 1 game a week. Or you're talking about the, what was the card? Oh, this one. Yeah. The Shahrazad. Blue Bomber talking about Shahrazad. Okay. We're going to move on to... I'm going to donate your super chat to the public lobbies. We got Dothy Shadow Ninja. It's a black 2 generic 2/2 ninja. We're using old text here, or the old templating. Summon ninja. Shadow ninjutsu of a black. If Dothy Shadow Ninja assigns combat damage to any opponent, you may redirect that damage to target creature. Okay, interesting. Pay 2 life, return Dothy Shadow Ninja to your hand. I like it. I like this design. I think it's pretty cool. It is, like, it's sort of mana intensive, and of course if you use ninjutsu, you got to bounce that creature back to your hand. So there's a cost to doing this, and it's not even a whole lot of damage. I mean, you deal 2 damage, you just pick something off. So I think this is completely fair. Pretty cool card. And Dothy Shadow Ninja Turtles. Dothy Shadow Ninja Turtles. Dothy Shadow Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Looks like it. Just put a mask on them, and yeah, there they are. Okay, next we got Steve Cooper. Set of 3 raccoon tribal artifacts plus token. Okay, I have a feeling set of 3 raccoon is probably all I have to look up. Plus token. You donate $15, so we gonna look at some of your cards. Oh my goodness. This is a human being pretending to be a raccoon. The Trash Goblin. Okay, a 4-mana legendary artifact. Wondrous Trash Bucket. Enter the battlefield with a trash counter on it. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a token or discards a card, put a trash counter on Wondrous Trash Bucket. Or remove a trash counter from... Okay, tap, remove a trash counter from Wondrous Trash Bucket. Choose one. Create a 1/1 green raccoon creature token. Create a treasure token. Create a food token. Or draw a card. That is a lot of value. Why does it come into play with a counter on it, though? That makes no flavor sense. I understand as people sacrifice and discard cards, we get counters. So you get a raccoon, you get a treasure, you create a food, you draw a card. This is... I guess it's fine because it's a 4-mana artifact. I think we already have 4-mana artifacts. You just tap and draw a card anyway, so situationally this thing is okay. It's just like a slightly upgraded version. But you can, like, draw a card immediately the turn it comes into play. Sack Trash Bucket, put Scornful Egotist into play. Okay, Mask of the Raccoon. It's a 2-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and is a green raccoon in addition to its other colors and types. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage gain control of X non-creature artifact tokens defending player controls, where X is the number of raccoons you control. So you swipe their tokens away. This is an underwhelming card, to be honest. Oh, what? The rack? A 3... What is going on here? At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, the rack deals X damage to that player, where X is the number of raccoons you control -3. This is just a very bizarre design. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, we deal X damage, where X is the number of raccoons you control -3. Okay, so you need a lot of raccoons in play. You gonna go get him? You got 1 treasure token? Oh, yeah, the raccoon token. He's fighting. I think all these cards are fine. And I actually think a lot of people would love to play with the Wondrous Trash Bucket. They would play with that thing. Make a Rack-Doos raccoon? I don't know what the hell that is in reference to. The Trash Pandas. That's what they do. They're allies with Oscar the Grouch. Abe, back with more busted cards. What are the odds that this is fair at all? Malevolent Mist form. Malevolent Mist form. We got a black 5/5 horror with flying and trample. Okay, what the hell is the downside to this thing? At the beginning of each end step, if a player didn't lose life this turn, sacrifice Malevolent Mist form. It's broken, though. You literally made a 5/5 flying with... Like, what are the odds they don't... Okay, so you can't... If a player didn't lose life this turn... But you could ping them with like a land or something. I don't know, or maybe not. So effectively, someone has to take damage for you to play this thing. Maybe it's more fair than I think. Maybe it's more fair than I think. Actually, it's strong though. It's very, very strong. But like if you... So you better fetch for the second swamp. You gotta fetch. You also have to fetch on your turn. If oh no, it's a player. It's just you. It's not. You don't even have to look at your opponent. You can just fetch, put this thing onto the battlefield. Oh no, but it's the end of each end step. Me of each end step if a player didn't lose life this turn. So I could just pass the turn and it dies. So you have to fetch this thing in play. You gotta have a fetch land in play. You know what? It's actually fair. I think this thing. I think this thing is actual crap. It's just so hard to keep online. Yeah, Bitter Blossom combo. Finally. Who said Bitter Blossom? Finally. A use for Bitter Blossom. You can lose life every single turn. Good on one. I don't even think it's good on 101. So let's say you even try to play it on turn 2. You fetch, you put this in play. It checks on the next end step. It's every end step. The opponent can just go pass and it dies. Just put land in play and then it's gone. How do we submit cards? Submit in the description. Go to Our Custom Magic. And also you have to super chat. You must give me money. That's how we work around here. You send money. Give me the name of the post. And super chat with the exact name of the post. And I'll look it up on Reddit. That's how it works around here. Okay, so I actually think this card is bad. It sort of looks good, but it's actually unbelievably unplayable. I think this is fair. You can print it if you want. I have no idea how you break this damn thing. Play with pain lands? Yeah, I guess you'd have to. But like, what about your opponent? Oh no, but you could keep dealing damage to yourself every turn. But then it's like a turn 3 play, right? You have to put this in play. You have to play like 3 lands. You could fetch 1, leave a pain land up, and then like you're just dealing damage to yourself every turn to keep this thing alive. Anyway, it's actually really, it's too fair. Spectral Maniac. Hey Coffee Crew, my card for today is Cernunnos of the Great Hunt. Cernunnos. Or Cernunnos. Been revised. This is my first attempt at mimicking Shadowverse's evolve mechanic. Whatever Shadowverse is. Because I have no idea. Okay, we have a green-black 2/2 Nymph Shaman. When Cernunnos of the Great Hunt enters the battlefield, you may discard a creature card. If you do, draw a card. That sounds fine. Although it could be a really good, like, graveyard reanimator Reanimator Enabler. We have Monstrosity for 4 mana. Monstrosity 2. Activate only as a sorcery. So you make it monstrous, it gets 2 counters. And then when this creature becomes monstrous, return target creature card with mana value 4 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh! I think this is pretty cool. It's a legendary creature, too. So, enters the battlefield, dump something. It's got a cost. Like, and if it dies, I mean, you ain't getting that creature back. But you do draw a card. You do draw cards, so it's not too bad. It's anime time! It's anime time! People love their waifus. You don't see many anime men on this show. It's all women. Would be an amazing commander. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Constantly get this thing out. But you can't put any broken creatures in play. It's only fair creatures, mana value 4 or less. So no Atraxas or any crap like that. This is a great card. What is born must live, and that which lives must one day die. For you, that day is today. Embrace your fate, and know the cycle has made no mistakes. Come, beasts, let us play our part. You brought the goat and everything. Fanboys make cards. But doesn't the evolve mechanic replace your creature in Shadowverse? I have no idea. I cannot speak on the lore at all. Smelly Squid! What do you got for a Smelly Squid? An essential card. From the Smelly Squid. Okay, we got a white 1/1 human cleric. Looks like Shakespeare. Named Aristotelian Hemomorphist. Is that anything to do with Aristotle or something? It's a human cleric. Aristotelian Hemomorphist gets +1/+1 and first strike as long as a player controls no creatures that are not enchanted. What the hell? So it's a white 2/2, mostly? As long as the player controls no creatures that are not... No, wait a minute, it's just a 1/1/1. I really don't get the point of this. Yeah, deep philosophical cut. Me too, Platonic Liquid. I'm too smooth-brained to understand this. I'm not learned enough. Every natural body consists of two intrinsic principles, one potential, namely primary matter, and one actual, namely substantial form. Okay, well, this has gone completely over my head, but the card is fair. I mean, you could print that card. You'll confuse people. They might hurt themselves in the confusion, but you can play this card. I think what it is if everything is enchanted, it's a 2/2? Gets +1/+1 and first strike as long as a player controls no creatures that are not enchanted. So everything has to be enchanted. So if everything's enchanted, this thing gets a little bit of a buff. It might even work in a 9, feather deck. Is it a feather? No, boggles. It'll definitely work in boggles. Send it to the boggles players. They love it. Alright, we got Fire is back. I love you, Fire. Last one or two for today? Lies. You're gonna be here all day. Earth of Gaia. This is a double-sided card. And Gaia Soul of Rialara. As always, thanks for reviewing my custom cards and having them on the show. Well, thank you for submitting them. All right, we gotta go widescreen for this one. We got the Earth of Gaia. It is a red, blue, green, 3 generic. Legendary enchantment. It's an influence. It's an influencer, people. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, put 3 +1/+1 counters on target land you control. It's a 0/0 elemental creature in addition to its other types and has vigilance. Earth of Gaia can be your commander. That is weird. That is very weird. Shouldn't it start on the front side? Oh god, the front side's not a creature, it's a planeswalker. Okay, so the front side is fine. Never heard of an enchantment being a planeswalker, but sure. And, okay, so for Teamer 5 generic, we have the Gaia. You heard of Gaia's Cradle? Well, here's Gaia in some sort of avatar form. Cast the spell only if you control 6 or more land creatures. Cast only, so we need 6 land creatures, and you activated our trap card. Holy Frame. Frame is neat. Okay, +2, untap up to 2 target lands. -X, put X +1/+1 counters on target land you control. It's a 0/0 elemental in addition to its other types. It has vigilance, so we're still making these creatures, huh? -14, you get an emblem with, if you tap a land for mana, it produces 3 times as much mana it's 3 times as much as that mana instead. This card, I think, is very, very, very fair. Because it's really hard to even get to flip Gaia in the first place. So you play Earth of Gaia, which is pretty expensive, hard to cast. And you need... It only counts the first spell you play whenever you cast your first spell each turn. Sure, you could play spells on your opponent's turn, but probably you're only going to play one, like more or less one spell a turn. You need like 6 creatures in play, and then you can cast the second half? How does that work? So this thing needs to be destroyed. It goes back to the command zone, and then you replay it. I don't even know how it works. Like, how do you even get the second half in play? There's like no way to pay the cost of flipping it. This looks like an already well-designed card to me. Like, it's totally fair. Like, I don't doubt it. So you have to somehow get this indestructible enchantment to go back to the grave, to get exiled or something, to get removed, and then you recast it from the command zone for a lot more mana, mind you, like way more mana. There's that green sorcery that put land creatures into play. Oh, it's possible. Maybe that'll work. It's fair. Might need a balancing on the mana value, but it's a mix of things that are already a thing. Welcome, Islarf. I'm doing great. Hopefully you'll be back. Yeah, people come and go all the time. All right, moving on. We got Alexander McKenzie. Check out lands that don't act like lands. You don't say. Whoops. Lands that don't act like lands. Plane of Life. Tap, gain 2 life. It is... Okay, I'm trying to think. Is this fair? I guess so. So we'll quickly rate these. They're all probably very simple cards. So this one's probably fair because it doesn't add any mana whatsoever. Then we have the next one. Plane of Water. Sacrifice Plane of Water. Draw a card. That one might be broken. Maybe. There is a world where that one's strong. Because you can tutor, there are a lot of cards that tutor lands in play, so you effectively tutor, you can tutor like a bunch of these things in play and then sack them and draw cards. So that one's probably too much. Then we got the Plane of Death, discard a card, other players discard a card. That one's also really strong. I think that one's very strong. Basically, you can perpetually make sure that no one draws a card at their upkeep. Like, they draw for the turn for other draw stuff, you always make them discard it. Plane of Fire, deal 1 damage to any target. That is definitely too strong. And Plane of Nature. Plane of Nature isn't a spell. It's affected by Summoning Sickness. It's a 2/2 land, so it's just a strictly better Arbor Elf that you can't fetch. But you can kill it, and it's still your land drop. This might work, actually. As weird as this card. These AI generate... I don't know. I think this was human designed. It's a whole version. The real question was the art AI generated, or where did they yank these emojis from? Version 4? I looked at the wrong one? Oh, God. So, hold on. These are... You got a freebie, Alexander. You got a freebie. Okay, well, okay. Now we're going to look at the real... Apparently, the real... But these have a lot more words on them. Hold on. How much did you donate? Okay, you donated. Okay, you donated more than $10. So in my world, we'll look at a few more. Gain 2. You're getting greedy. You got great. Look, gain 2 life. That's fine. Sacrifice Pocket of Life plane. Gain 2 life for every planes you control. So we now went from like fine to broken. Pocket of Life plane doesn't untap during your untap step unless you control planes or reveal a planes in your hand. That is a weird card. Plains is still the worst land. But gaining 2 life a turn. Don't underestimate that. There are cards that combo off of that. Okay, so we went from... Okay, drawing a card was broken. Scrying 2, maybe not as broken. Sack it. You still draw a card. What is this? It's old. It's very... This one's very, very broken now. Now this is insane. It doesn't untap during your untap step unless you control an island. Of course you're going to have an island. Of course. This is like a 0-mana planeswalker that does all this stuff. Maybe if it exiled instead, I don't know. Gaining 2 life is roughly worth a mana with Campfire? I guess so. Did Mark Rosewater submit these lands? I would love to have this land. Everyone would play this thing. Everybody. Playing islands. Pocket of Death plane. Discard a card. All other players discard a card. Activate only during your... Oh, so you can only activate during your turn, so you fixed that. So you discard a card. Okay, that works. Tap, sacrifice it. Discard your hand. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Pocket of Death plane doesn't... So you just discard your hand? I actually think that's fine. I mean, even dredge players can't take advantage of this very well. Because they would prefer to draw a card and get their dredging going. Here, they would discard their hand, do nothing, and then have to play something else to play another land and something else to draw cards and get their... Or wait next turn until they draw a card. So this one actually got fixed. Okay, Pocket of Fire plane. Tap, deal 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. Okay, so not creatures. That's better, but it's still bad. Sacrifice it, deal 1 damage to any target. Doesn't untap during an untap step. I don't understand the sacrifice. Like, why would you ever... Oh, it deals 1 damage to any target if you sacrifice it. I think tapping dealing 1 damage every turn is too strong. It hits players or planeswalkers. But maybe it's more fine now because it can't snipe creatures. And again, it chokes you on land. Okay, this card might be fine, but could be broken. They don't tap for mana, so that's a huge... Not really! Like, you just have to look at these cards. Like, the deal is you have to look at these cards like there's some sort of planeswalker or something. This one particularly. It danger! I'm telling you, people, it danger. Pocket of Nature Plane. A 2/2 defender. Pay a green. Loses defender until end of turn. Sacrifice Pocket of Nature. Target creature gains +2/+2 until end of turn. Oh, that's interesting. And it can't be fetched out. I think this is fair. That's actually maybe more fair than the original one. So some got better and some got worse. It's just absolutely insane. Land sack for no mana is basically free reusable. It's possible. Especially if you got, what's it called? Crucible Worlds. That's what I was thinking about. Zarthar! Thanks for being here. Throwing a bone to a random in chat or the bird feed. We're doing it. It goes to the public. Public domain. All right. The Clockwork Arm. It's a Plains Mountain. Comes into play tapped unless you control an artifact. Oh, that's interesting. You add a red or a white. So it is... It's almost like those tri-lands, but it's just a dual land. This is totally fine. Completely fair. Nothing broken going on over here. It's a-okay. Send it to the printers. Okay, next we got Smelly Squid. Creature types are so unscientific. What the hell does that mean? Ugh. Creature types are so unscientific. I don't know who this is. Okay, we've got Selesnya for a 2/2. Human Ape Advisor. What? Birds are dinosaurs. Phoenixes are birds. Dogs are wolves. Humans are apes. You have to specify non-avian dinosaurs. Dinosaurs did not go extinct. The F? Is this person like the, I don't know, the grand master of the theory of evolution or something? I'll tell you what the dinosaurs turned into, all right? They're birds, damn it. And humans are the same as the apes. We're so damn close. Sebastian's like, I like it. Me, a biologist. So, transitively, phoenixes are dinosaurs? It's possible. Yeah, that should be like that. Phoenixes are birds. Birds are yeah, that's actually true. It sort of catches itself already in this card. So in the end, phoenixes are dinosaurs. Phoenixes are birds and the birds are dinosaurs. Everything's a dinosaur. If you try hard enough, probably everything is a dinosaur in the end. Or some sort of fish or tadpole. Yeah, reading the card explains the card. You have to specify not... Yeah, anyway, very funny card. It's fine, I think. You just, like, mess with the creature types, right? That's it. And these are not particularly dangerous creature types. That's funny. Someone playing a humans deck has to play against it's called the Noted Taxonomist. So you're playing a human deck, and then your creatures say all humans get +1/+1, but they're not humans anymore. They're apes. You dirty apes? Do I believe in Bigfoot? No. I like how it has a human ape in it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, next one is Brawly's Shadow. Tinkerbell. We're back to the Disney-themed stuff. Tinkerbell. Starlit Sprite. It is blue-green, 1 generic, 1/3 fairy artificer. Oh, I forgot who Tinkerbell was. I forgot that was the fairy. Flying. Fairy spells you cast have improvise. Artifact spells you cast have convoke. The artifact part might be broken. So all the artifact spells I have Convoke. So like, especially with... That sounds like a combo. Affinity with Convoke. So the like at some point when the artifacts are very cheap, you just start tapping the artifact for 1 and then like put it onto the battlefield. It's not anyway. It sounds pretty strong, but the card by itself is pretty pathetic. A sprinkle of stardust and the world transforms. I think it's okay. Like, it's hard to evaluate something like this. Improvise and Convoke basically let you cheat on how you cast your spells. You basically tap permanents to help cast your spells. I have no idea how good or bad this would be. Is this a Lorcana card? Did we make a mock-up Lorcana card for Magic the Gathering? People are doing that with Yu-Gi-Oh! Photonic Liquid says it's great. If it's a fairy without flash, it's fine. What does the artifacts have to do with this? Oh, because Tinkerbell always presented artifacts? Like, here's this thing. Am I getting my Disney mixed up? Tinkerbell. Where the hell is this thing? Wait a minute, is this Peter Pan? I gotta look this up. Tinkerbell story. Tinkerbell is from what? What is the story of Tinkerbell? Hold on, Tinkerbell is in what movie? I probably should just ask chat for this. Oh, Tinkerbell is in their own movie. I could have swore it was like in something else. Okay, I'm an idiot. Oh, so it is Peter Pan. They just spun her off in her own world. Why doesn't she just tinker on ETB? That would be so busted. Yeah, that's funny. Let's make Tinkerbell like the most broken possible fairy in all of Magic. It would bring the power level of fairies back to some sort of its former glory. Also Captain Hook, yes. The captain. Okay, moving on. Okay, I will hesitantly pass that one, but I have no idea. That could be just stone cold broken. We got Nejim Malevolent. Neji Malevolent. Hey Nikachu, I haven't played MTG in many years, but I discovered your channel and all your card reviews have inspired me to start creating. Please check out Ground Hurler Giant. The Hurler. Reminds me of someone throwing up in the toilet. And Returfoaming. Okay, you donated 10 bucks. Actually, was it 10 pounds? 10 pounds! So we'll look at 2 of them. Ground Hurler Giant. It's a green 3 generic. 8-2! It's a very unusual power and toughness around here. Reach. It better. Ground Hurler Giant takes no damage from creatures with toughness less than or equal to Ground Hurler Giant's power. When Ground Hurler Giant attacks or blocks, you may sacrifice a land. You may? Like, you don't have to? Okay, during the combat phase, if you did not sacrifice a land this turn, Ground Hurler Giant's power becomes 0 until end of turn. Oh, okay, so you basically have an incentive to sack the land or it's screwed. This is so hard to evaluate. Like, this card is stone cold broken. It's not, so, I mean, it dies to shock, right? Like, you can't, it doesn't take any non-combat damage, but it can take any other damage. It's hard to say if it's fair. Like, I could totally see a control deck just waiting until you have no cards in hand and just slam down the Ground Hurler Giant and just dome you for 8 over and over again. But maybe it's still like a crappy type of win condition in that regard, even for that type of deck. I guess it's fine. Some people, I would totally play him. So you're telling me some of you people want to sacrifice the lands? You like to feel the pain. I feel like it should let you fling the lands, yeah. That's actually would be within flavor. Okay, what else do we have here? We also have the Reterraforming. Reterraforming. Uh-oh, I don't see this one. Which one was this one made? This one was made by Negi. So where's another Negi one? Re-terraform. I have a feeling you spelled it wrong, but I know what I could do. We're gonna go look at your post. Sure, you have another one. There we go. It was just terraform. You completely misspelled your own card. I'm assuming this is the card. Hold on, just in case you submitted like millions of cards, which you have. Okay, it's definitely this. Remember, people have to submit your cards. You've got to spell it properly. Don't skimp on the spelling. We have a green, blue, one generic enchantment. It looks like a board game. Whenever a player sacrifices a land, like a hurling giant, that player draws one card. Oh, built-in synergy. And that player puts it onto the battlefield and draws an additional card. Okay, come on. Come on. Whenever a player sacks a land, you draw a card. And then you can put the land back and draw another card. Like, what the hell is the point of this damn thing? Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of the fetches. But yeah, fetches are just broken with this thing. So you're fetching for something anyway, but then if you sacrifice basic lands, you basically sacrifice nothing at all and draw 2 cards. So that one to the Urank. They know what to do with lands at the Urank. I think it's if you draw a basic land. Sacrifice a land, the player draws 1 card. If it's a basic land, that player puts it onto the battlefield. Oh, so it has to be worded if the card drawn was a basic land, put onto the battlefield and draw an additional card. Like, that's still strong with them fetch lands. Oh, it's symmetrical. The gods shaped the world to their liking, no matter the price we had to pay. Well, in that case, I still think it's broken. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is it fine that everyone gets this ability? Obviously, your deck's going to be built better for this card than everyone else. I think, anyway, I think it's drawing too many cards. You basically draw effectively, potentially 2 cards if you get a basic land. It only comes online at 3 CMC, though. Seems pretty late. It's not that late. What is the beginning of the game? What do you mean, like, what world do you live in? What is your curve? Do you live in a world where the curve tops out at 1 or 2? What do you play, Vintage? Anyway, moving on. We've got Pyrobob. I love you, Pyrobob. Pyrobob 5. What happened to 1, 2, 3, and 4? Mind Flux. What am I looking up here? Oh, I'm not in the custom magic area anymore. How do I get back? I need an adult. Okay, Mind Flux. The bluest card I can think of. All right. Well, I'm a blue player. Wow, this has a lot of comments. You did great. You have a discussion starter. Okay, it's a blue 1 generic instant. Counter target spell unless that spell's controller mills cards equal to 3 times that spell's mana value. If they do, draw a card. So, did you really think you could win a battle of minds against me? So you counter a spell, or they mill a billion cards and you draw a card anyway. So this could... You know what, honestly? I think this is fair. I think this is the Vexing Devil of counter spells. I really think this is the Vexing Devil of counter spells. It is blue. It is very, very blue. Because the thing is, like, probably you're going to mill, let your stuff get... Like, only one deck can use this, right? It's the mill players. Mill players will want this. But then maybe, like, if I'm against a mill deck, I'll be like, okay, I'll just let my stuff get countered. Because otherwise, you milled me for, like, maybe 9 or more, and you drew a card. So I don't want to give you a card. I'd rather just let my spell get countered. So counter target spell, right? Well, I mean, it depends. It depends on the situation. Like, maybe if my opponent, maybe if I'm very close to winning, I'll mill myself, because I know they can't, like, finish me off. But I think this actually this is the Vexing Devil of counter spells, the Vexing Devil of blue. And I think it works. Neat card. Very, very unique design. Richard Smith. Token Gesture. Just uploaded. Hope you see it. Token Gesture for Nikachu MTG. It's Lego. It's Lego Star Wars. We have a green, white, 2 generic, summon creature, instant. Create an XX colorless soldier creature token with haste and lifelink, where X is the number of token creatures that left the battlefield under your control during your or your opponent's last turn. Creatures created by a token gesture gain indestructible as long as you control no other non-land permanents. I have a feeling this is fine. It has rebound. So basically, token players just have... So let me get this straight. You're a token player, and you hate them getting wiped out. So what's a way of refilling the board and making them feel the pain of killing your creature? Well, it's going to be the token gesture. I actually don't know what the flavor of this card is. Is this dangerous? Create an XX colorless soldier creature token with haste and lifelink, where X is the number of token creatures that left the battlefield under your control during your or your opponent's last turn. I mean, yeah, I mean, haste, lifelink, like, don't kill their creatures. Don't kill the tokens. Instant with subtype. Yeah, I know that is a bit weird, but we can ignore that. That's a bit of a typo. I think the rebound is the flavor text, by the way. No, I think flavor text has a quotation marks and then it says, then it has to reference somebody. This just says rebound. Rebound is a mechanic, which means you get 2 of them. You play it and then you get another copy of it. Is that how rebound works? I think it's something like that. You just broke World Slide. I think it's fine. Like, it's for a very niche deck. And like, what? You get a haste, lifelink, giant monster. Like, wait, just kill it. Just get rid of the damn thing. I think it's okay. If anyone gives you any did anyone give you any trouble for this thing? Oh, you didn't get any comments at all. It's a fresh new card. If anyone gives you trouble, to tell them I said it's fine. All right, next up, we've got the 4 Paths of Life. Paradox Marshes. Oh my goodness. This is an enormous card. Come on, I gotta zoom out completely for this card. It's too big! Okay, Paradox Marshes. I don't even know what's going on in the image over here. So it's a legendary land. You tap out a black to turn player's mana pool. What? Add black to turn player's mana pool. Well, okay. Tap, add colorless. That mana must be spent before you can activate this ability again this turn. And then while Paradox Marshes is tapped, the next black that would be added to a player's mana pool untaps Paradox Marshes instead. Everything is melting in every direction. Please let me get out of here. I don't even know if this does it. No, I think I thought it was AI at first, but now I think it's actually designed by a human. So, but I don't understand the black to turns player's mana pool. That might be AI generated. So you add a colorless, mana may be spent before you can activate this ability again this turn. So we have to spend that mana before we tap this thing. Like if we somehow untap it with, like, I don't know, Candelabra or something. When Paradox Marshes is tapped, the next black that would be added to a player's mana pool untaps Paradox Marshes instead. So if I ever tap to add black, this untap. It needs to be spent on this to untap. And then what the hell is this thing's ability? Tap, add black to turn player's mana pool. I don't understand that first one. So I gotta disqualify this thing. The first sentence just makes absolutely no sense to me. Wait, so this doesn't counter the opponent's swamps? No, it does not. As far as I understand. But so I have a feeling this is based on the flavor of Paradox. It's trying to somehow loop itself together in some way. I don't know, lock the game? Yeah, oh shit, it's a player. All of a sudden, it's a sentient land to turn player's mana pool. Yeah, chaos ensues on the first line. Wait, that's just infinite mana, right? Mana abilities aren't on the stack, so it'd be tapped. Okay, add, so while Paradox Marshes is tapped, the next black that would be added to a player's mana pool untaps for... No, you have to add a black first. So you add a black. We don't have any way of... So you could, like, tap this, and while the ability is on the stack, you could tap a swamp to untap this thing. But you need a swamp to do that. Okay, next super chat. Because this card makes no damn sense. Redco! What do you got for us today, Redco? The Marina. Goblet. Goblet Bear. A Theros-inspired walker. Oh, I can zoom back in here. Okay, we got a blue, white, green, 2 generic, 5 loyalty Marina. +1, exile target creature, then return it to the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it. Interesting, so you can't, like, abuse your own creatures, I guess. You could also just tap... so you can blink your own stuff for value, or you can also blink your opponent's stuff, but with the intention of making sure it's tapped. Then you go -2, counter target spell or ability that targets you or another permanent you control. You may activate this ability anytime you can cast an instant. What's it with you people with counter spells on a planeswalker? I don't get it. Okay, and then -5, you gain an emblem with you may play lands and cast spells as though they had flash. So basically, this is a 5-mana, in some sense, this is a 5-mana Leyline of Anticipation. That's worse, because you can play lands at flash speed. This is just broken. Broken! I don't know how you make this fair. Maybe get rid of that 5th line. Actually, get rid of the 2nd line. This is absurd. Although you can only use the +1 on your turn. Lands can still only be played on your turn. You may play lands and cast spells as though they had flash. Is that true? I actually don't know what the rules are on lands. But that could be true. So you give lands flash, but it's only useful on your turn. Like at your upkeep or something. The last card tried to add black mana to the mana pool of whoever's turn it is. Oh, okay. Okay, there's another rule that says that lands can't be played on another player's turn. Okay. I don't like this card. I don't like the I really don't like this countering stuff on a planeswalker. You know what? That sounds terrible. I'm sending it to the shredder. No, we're not countering spells or abilities for the low cost of -2. Thank you very much. So imagine a control player with this. They'll be just like, they empty your board, slam Marina on an empty board, and you're screwed. That's it. The game's over. You're not gonna fight through 2 of these things on your. You can do it at any time. Anytime you can cast an instant. I don't know, this seems really versatile with what it does, potentially really strong, but 5 mana is still... No! For a control deck, this is not that expensive. And it's got 2 counter spells! You could do it twice before it, like, dies. I think that's absurd. And of course, you can do it on... every turn that you have... Every turn that people play, so you can go -2 on someone's turn, -2 on another person's turn. On your turn, you go +1, and then you go -2 again if you really need to. I think the card is busted. So, no. I say no. Redco! What do you got for us, Redco? Okay, this was the last one. Your last one was a failure. But we're gonna now look at Scatter the Ashes. It's a white, 1 generic instant. As an additional cost to cast the spell, exile a non-land card from your graveyard. Exile target permanent or spell that shares a card type with the exiled card. That is very interesting. And why is it so convoluted to make work? As an additional cost to cast a spell, you have to exile a non-land card to exile a permanent or spell. Oh, wait a minute. This is broken with lands. Oh, it's so close. Because you can just fetch, exile land. So it's just, it's 2 mana Stone Rain. 2 mana Stone Rain. Oh, it says non-land? Okay, so, okay. Actually, do you know what? It's going to be fair. It's going to be fair. Okay, I take it back. I take it back. It's good. It's good. I think it's actually supremely fair. To change the present, one must truly let go of their past. Okay. I was like, This is gonna blow up their lands. But it says non-land. So you can only hit creatures, artifacts. You also need a creature in your graveyard. It's actually supremely fair. This is a complete contrast to this the last card. Like, this is broken. This thing is really, really fair. Maybe too fair, in fact. Easy pass. Okay, we got Madra. Hello, Nikachu. How about Charlatan of the City Sun? The Sun City. They're part of Cisco and Leandro's deck. Do you literally have a physical deck built of all your... Does anyone out there make physical decks of their custom cards? Why wait for Wizards of the Coast to make cards that you want when you can just make your own damn cards? Is this it? I can't tell. Okay. Charlatan. Oh, I didn't put... Charlatan of the Sunset. Okay, I found it. We got there. We got there. It's one of 2 cards. I like the casting cost. All right, it's a Selesnya and a blue for a 2/2 human cleric rogue with flash. You're pushing it really early. When Charlatan of the Sun City enters the battlefield, choose 1. Target player copies target instant or sorcery, and target player makes a token copy of target artifact or enchantment. Exile it at the end of turn. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. That'll work. You can target player copies an instant or sorcery. So, like, even if you want to, like, copy a Time Walk, you have to have enough mana up for the Time Walk and also the Charlatan of the Sun City at the same time. Interesting card. The Sun City, for a very bizarre casting cost of... I don't even know how to describe this. It's like that green or 2, blue or 2, white or 2, 1 generic. Legendary enchantment with Exalted. Everyone knows how much they love Exalted. At the beginning of each end step, choose 1. Create a 1/1 white human creature token, or draw a card if you have less than 5 cards in hand. Otherwise, scry 1. Untap target creature. You could push the... I think you can just draw a card at end of turn, to be honest. I don't think you need to have less than 5 cards in hand. You could choose... I think drawing a card for the cost of 4 mana for this legendary enchantment... I think it's okay. Or you could, like, have it if you have less than 3 cards in hand or something. Less than 5 seems too extreme, in my opinion. You can copy the leveler. That's funny. But for somebody else? I couldn't afford my own custom deck. I had to proxy it. Yo, I don't have enough money to present you another card, so I hope you like that. Oh, I love them. This one's very... I think the first one is very, very unique. I think it's a really cool card. Even though I think it's a little bit difficult to use, to be honest. But it's also very interesting. Target player makes a token of target artifact or enchantment. It's very interesting that you say target player. So it's like you can give stuff to people. You can give somebody a soul ring. You could give somebody a mana crypt for a turn. It gets exiled at end of turn. You could do it at flash speed. It's like, hey, do you need more mana? Let's just copy this Grim Monolith over here. Why don't we? Or this Lotus Field. Or I guess you can't copy the Lotus Field. It says hexproof. Some sort of Lotus-like card. Anyway, I think this thing is fine too. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Brawly Shadow is back with Soul Sipper. Someone drinking souls from a cup? Might be too complicated. Probably. If you think it's too complicated, you're right. The Soul Sipper, a red-black 1 generic 4/4 demon berserker with haste. If Soul Sipper would enter the battlefield from anywhere other than exile, exile it instead. Okay, so we cast it, goes to exile. If you do, choose a non-land permanent. Okay, I choose instant. When the chosen permanent leaves the battlefield... Oh, no, sorry, it has to be a permanent. Okay, I choose artifact. When the chosen permanent leaves the battlefield... Put Soul Sipper from exile onto the battlefield with a trample counter if the chosen permanent was a creature. If the same is true for menace and enchantment and first strike and artifact. What about Planeswalker? We don't got one for Planeswalker. To be honest, okay, weirdly enough, I followed this whole thing through. So you cast it from anywhere, it goes to exile. Then you need to name some non-land permanent, enchantment, artifact, land, should also have creature. And then if that thing leaves the battlefield, then we get the Soul Sipper back. It goes back onto the battlefield and it gets a bit of a bonus. Do you want to be just easier though? Make it less complicated when the thing, sorry, not, it has to be a non-land. I keep thinking it has to be non-land. To make it simpler, scrap this last paragraph. Like it's, I don't know if it's so necessary. If it has 2 types, it gets 2 abilities. Although, to be honest, it'll be a lot more boring of a card if you don't get the abilities. Pass. And it's really underwhelming, too. I don't think that's broken at all. Nagy is back. What do you got for us this time? One more if you have time. I have time for as long as you guys keep super chatting. That's how it works around here. This is my infinite money machine glitch. Conniving Keymaster. The show ends when the super chats end. Oh, was it Keymaster or Keybearer? No, it was from you. Don't you know the names of your own cards? You made these things. You literally made this. Okay, we have a black 2 generic for a 2/2 shapeshifter. If another creature would gain a keyword ability, why would they gain it? Oh, like if it got haste from something else. Conniving Keybearer gains it permanently instead. Weird. I mean, sure. Does that even work within the rules? Ah, so that's what that key does. Oh, it's a Keybearer. Yeah. Look at the jokes. The jokes, people. The shapeshifter mean it has each creature type? No. Because each creature type, I think, is attributed to changeling, the keyword. So it needs... So not every shapeshifter has changeling, if I understand correctly. Yeah, the keywords. What if all cards were to gain an ability? I guess they don't gain those abilities and Conniving Keybearer gets them instead. The ultimate combat trick host... That's true. But only for keywords. So, like, you can still pump stuff up. But, like, giving trample, double strike... Nope! Going straight to the Conniving Keybearer. They hold all the keys. And control all the locks. Redco. Come out for one last. Blood Boon. The last one for me today. Thank you so much for your support, Redco. I appreciate it. The Blood Boon. It looks like a vampire card. It's a red-black instant. Put a +1/+1 counter and a counter from among flying, death touch, or lifelink on target creature. It becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. But it wouldn't if it had to face the Conniving Keybearer. It's interesting that these two cards got paired up right at the end. Yeah, put a counter on a creature. Put a +1/+1 counter, and you can either give flying, death touch, or a lifelink on target creature. It's interesting that it gets a count. How does the counters work with this thing? Like, it gets the counter. What, is it perpetually going to steal it because it has a counter on it? I don't get it. Oh, true. If you play the new Narset, it would I'd have a ton of prowess, right? I guess so. A bazillion prowess. And then it becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. This is a very underwhelming card. This is like not broken at all. This is also a very lukewarm combat trick. Servants of the Dom Nathi eagerly await the day their masters grant them ascension. Totally fair. Print it. All right, that's it. We run out of super chats, so we run out of show. And now, thank you so much for being here. If you want to be part of the show, you want to submit cards for Coffee and MTG, you got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. By the way, the streams are on Wednesdays, every second Wednesday for the custom streams, for anyone that wants to be here. You got to be here 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. You know, being in the comment section doesn't work for that. Thank you so much for everyone who supports the show, either a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, to be part of the coffee crew. The thousands of people gathered to watch. And also, we've got to thank everybody here helping me correct my pronunciation and understanding all the words on these cards, like Richard Smith and Orvitas. We got Tom, Medusa Toads, Abzo, Spectral Maniac, Redco, Mr. Deadhead, Sebastian, Platonic Liquid, Silvercations, Bread Brawly Shadow, Orvitus, Richard, Jonathan, Sebastian, Hasta, Negi. We got also Steve Cooper, Bread, because as usual, my coffee crew. You guys are the show. So keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.